Hey everybody, welcome to the round 23 player ratings video, the last player ratings video for season 2021. I say this, it's interesting. It's interesting to be doing this. It's really the closure of the season, even though there's going to be quite a few more videos coming out about the season. But in terms of that week-to-week grind and the week-to-week therapy or closure from each individual game, this is the final one. So I'm excited. I'm a little sad because obviously it means we're not playing finals again. And anyway, there's a job to do. If you're new here, welcome. What I like to do is with these videos, I just start the conversation. I watch every game as what you do as well, and I take notes and I give players a rating between 1 and 10 relative to their standing in the team, their experience, their expectations, and their role on the day. And basically I start the conversation here. You guys in the comments will fix up any ratings that you think are wrong. Just put a comment down below, higher or lower, and why, and then I can change it. Don't take them too seriously. I guarantee you that there are going to be some that are wrong and some that are right. They're not official. I know that we get a little bit precious with people's opinions in Australia, and we get that tall poppy syndrome, but it's all going to be okay because we can have a discussion. So if you are back and returning, you know how this works. We have a conversation and we go from there. So let's begin. As the team was named: Newman, Wiedering and Stocker. Nick Newman, I thought he started really well and pretty much played relatively well. I thought he was one of our better players on the day. He copped a knock at one point. I don't exactly remember when it was. I think it was either just at the start of the third quarter or midway through, and he something with his elbow, but he battled through, ended up getting the 27 possessions, the 9 marks. He patrolled us down back there as well, and he had 677 metres gained. I really thought he played really well. I thought he was one of our best, as I said. I gave him an 8 for his game. Wiedering, he gave away a clumsy free kick early on to Hogan with 9 minutes to go in the first. But he settled, and that's really been the hallmark of Jacob Wiedering in 2021, and I guess 2020 as well. He can still have his little moments, as they all do, especially when the ball comes in as efficiently as it does to our defenders at times. But I thought it was okay. I thought he played relatively well, spoiled well, 8 marks. You've got to remember Jones is not there, so there's another layer of responsibility on his shoulders, and I think it's in a weird way, I think it's good for him. I think it's good for him to be challenged like that again. I thought he stood up to it. I didn't think Jesse Hogan, got off the leash as much. I know he kicked the 3, but not too many of them were directly on Jacob Wiedering. I gave him a 6, just above a pass mark. I thought he was okay. Stocker, I think it was his best game for the club at senior level. He was winning the ball everywhere, and he ended up having the 23 touches, but more importantly, it was the 18 kicks, and his strength is his kicking. He's fierce. He's a competitor. 527 meters gained. He definitely helped us there. He laid 1 tackle, which is probably something that he'll get better at as his career goes on. I can see him being a guy that lays 5-6 tackles a game because he's got that competitive streak in him. But I was pretty stoked with Liam Stocker. I gave him a 7. And it's a real relief to have him in the side playing well. And I think once we remove ourselves from the week-to-week stress and pressure of the season, we'll realise that Liam Stocker is one of the stories of our season, because at the start of the year, we just weren't sure, where is he at? Is he going to play? So happy with that. Next up, Sard, Plowman and Willow. Sard, I thought he was okay. He was a little bit better than okay. He was much better than last week. He looked to be playing with a little bit more energy. Even had a shot on goal early in the game. I gave him a 6 for his game, just above a pass mark. Plowman, I struggled to watch him in this game in particular. Just, I don't know, just some of the positioning and decision-making wasn't great. And I just noted here, once he was pinned in that third quarter with 12:40 to go, it's just hard to watch. And one thing I've noticed this year with Plowman is his skill execution in crucial moments. I think we've all noticed it, but when we want to switch the ball goes through Plowman's hands, and his kick, it either misses the target or it falls at his teammates' feet, or it just doesn't nail the kick at times, and it's frustrating to watch because he's a senior player now. He's not a child anymore, and I don't know. I just didn't think he had a good game. I gave him a 3. Willow, here's another one that I'm struggling a little bit to watch at the moment. He's got this aggression, which he's always had, which we love, but he also has this ability to just make poor decisions. There was one, he kicks the ball long to nobody. He kicks the ball into a GWS player. And you're just wondering, like, what's going through his head? Has he quite got that composure yet? That's probably something he'll need to work on for next year. Just settling in his mind, knowing when to be aggressive and when to not be. I don't know if it's an instruction to him to just kick the ball as long as possible every time he gets it, but I don't know. I expect a bit more from Willow now. He's a good player for me. I really do think so, and it's a big preseason coming up for him, and I think it was a bit of a reality check for him this year, and that's okay. We all have them, and I think he's going to be better for it. I gave him a 4 for his game. Just didn't quite get the job done the way I saw it. Nunes, Cripps, O'Brien. Nunes, I didn't really notice. I mean, I never really noticed Jack Nunes, but I didn't really notice him at all in this game. I gave him a 3. I didn't think he impacted much. I know he works hard and he runs hard and all of that, but I don't know. I might be missing something that he was doing on the day, so please correct me if you did see that. Cripps, I said it in the review. I'm really grateful that he played. It would have been very easy. We're in an age where, load management in the NBA and general soreness and all of that is there. And I thought it was very important and significant and a bit of a statement that he decided to play. And I do appreciate that because obviously teams decimated, coming up against the rampant Giants. He's probably going in there to help someone like a Sam Walsh who's going to have a De Boer tag. And so that doesn't go unnoticed for me. I really did appreciate that. The hunt was there for him. I mean, I watched Patrick Cripps from his first game. I remember pretty much every game he's played, and you just know when he's hunting and when he's not. Now, is it his body? Is it his mind? Are there things on his mind this year? Who knows? But all I know is that I saw Cripps hunting players and tackling and that spark and playing with the spirit, and that was good to see. He went off obviously after half time. He was subbed out. I just gave him a pass mark for his game. I thought he actually did enough in the minutes that he did play to warrant a pass mark. Was it half time? I think it was half time. Anyway, third quarter he came off. Lockie O'Brien, first kick. I'm like, this looks good. Turnover. He was working hard to a few contests after that in the first quarter. He missed that goal in the first, 30 seconds to go on his left. You would expect a left footer, a top 10 pick with that talent. You would expect him to be nailing those. He had quite a few moments throughout the game where there were some beautiful kicks. There was that bullet to Fogarty in the second quarter with 4 minutes to go. He looked okay. He gets wrapped up a bit. He gets thrown around a bit, but he wasn't terrible. I thought he just got his job done. He had the 17 touches and worked hard for the most part. So I gave him a pass mark. Ed, Curnow, Charlie, and Betts. Curnow, Ed, I gave him a 10. Kicked the first goal. I thought he had an inspirational first quarter, I had written here. 12 touches and a goal. I just thought he was clearly our best player on the day. Kicked the 4 goals, obviously not something you expect from him at all. Had the 25 touches, 8 marks, worked hard, really hard, and then fair play to him. I thought it was a fantastic game to send off the season. Charlie, he's working his way into it, Charlie, and this is the other story of the year. We've got a month of footy into Charlie Curnow. That's massive. And I know we're angry and we're frustrated and all of that, but when you strip it back and you look at the future, it's important that we get a month of footy into Charlie Curnow unscathed. Now he's ready to launch into a pre-season. You can tell there are some things aerially that he's missing. Is it confidence? 2 years out of the game, I can't even imagine what that does to a player at the highest level, especially a guy with this type of talent and the heights that he was looking to reach. So, however, I think at ground level, I think he's definitely got the touch there, and thought he was okay. I thought he did his job. I gave him a 5 for his game. He's getting shots on goal. He's rushing them a little bit, but I feel like the game will slow down a little bit for Charlie as he gets another pre-season into him, and I'm really relieved, and I think we all are, that we got a month of footy into Charlie Curnow, and he gets into a pre-season healthy and touch wood, gets through unscathed, and we go from there. So he's obviously an important part to this Carlton puzzle. Eddie Betts' final game. I still can't believe that Eddie Betts came onto the channel for 90 minutes. If you didn't watch the Eddie Betts tribute, we did a tribute. Basically, the idea was from Nick Wishart in the Cheer Squad. And we did it last year with Simo and obviously with Murph last week on the Saturday show. But the idea was for fans to come on and share their favourite memories. It was meant to just be a fan thing, and I mean, you never expect any of the players to want to get involved or anyone from the club to want to get involved. You just sort of keep it as the fans. But Eddie offered his time to come on, and he stayed for 90 minutes. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. Thought he was good in his last game. He kicked a couple. All of us were just hoping that he would kick another goal before he retired. He ended up kicking 2. Did his job. I'm going to give Eddie Betts a 7 for his game. You can all come at me for that. I love him. He goes out. Obviously, it would have been great to see him play in person, and I think he would have loved that as well. But goes without saying. Appreciate him and what he's done for the footy club, and he's definitely put a smile on all of our faces. And I'm still buzzing from last week, so that's a very special moment that I'll never forget. Mitch McGovern, Cass Bolton, Durden, Gov. Must be said, he looked a bit better. He looks a little bit more fitter, and fair play to him. He obviously disappointing that he did his hamstring when he did it, but good on him for getting fit and getting back into the side and looking the way he did. Now that's his job, so there is that as well. He's required to do that. We just need him healthy. I thought he was all right. I gave him a 5 for his game. We need him fit and healthy and roaring, and I don't know. I don't really know. I find I'm actually almost. Is it unfair on him? In a way, it is, because I watch him, and every time I watch him, I think $700,000, $750 a year, marquee player. It's not. It might not be fair. It might not be fair. Anyone would take that kind of contract. It's just frustrating. I think I might need to just level expectations on him. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit of a turncoat, but I just want more. I expect more from him, and I want more from him. And anyway, gave him a pass mark. Casbolt, I thought it was all right in his last game. He threw his body around, and the body's probably not doing what the mind wants it to do anymore. Gave him a pass mark for his game. Nice little tap to Eddie Betts for that goal in that. I think it was in the first quarter. In the second, 8:40 to go. Did his thing, gets a pass mark. I want to thank him for his contribution to the club. You got to remember where he was drafted and how he got to the club and what he was able to do with his career. So good on him, and obviously want to wish him all the best for what comes next. Whether he's playing or not, I don't know. Corey Durden, he set up our first goal. The tackle was great. The second and third efforts are there to see. His first goal, I don't know about you guys, I was standing up, slapping the couch, G'ing up. It was exciting. It was happy. I'm happy for him to be able to get a couple of games under his belt, see a goal, feel the goal, get the excitement. He's played against 2 quality opponents as well, so he'll use that, get a big preseason in, and I hope that it'll fuel him subconsciously. I imagine that's what happens with players. I imagine that's what it does, and obviously didn't get a lot of the ball, and that's not his game. He's a role player. He's a pressure player. And I think with a big preseason, he can add a bit more to his game. And one thing about him is his base level is the intent, and you kind of wish that the base level was the intent with all of them, but you can't teach that. I don't think you can teach that will to want to hurt someone when you tackle the way he does. So I love it. He sprints with every effort, and I gave him a pass mark. I don't know, second gamer. And I think he's got a few tricks up his sleeve, and I think once he gets a bit stronger and a bit faster and a bit more, obviously getting used to being a professional athlete as well. I think he's set up for a solid career and a solid year next year. So we'll see how it plays out. De Koning, Kennedy, and Walsh. Tom De Koning, I thought he started really well. To be honest, I thought he was outstanding. Now he had 32 hitouts, which is. I don't really remember too many games this year where he's won the hit-out battle, and I thought that was one of the things that I really noticed about his game. I gave him a 7. I think I know that there is a frustration with everything going on, but guys like Charlie Curnow getting good minutes, guys like Tom De Koning getting good minutes, especially on his own in the ruck, I think it's going to hold him in good stead. Has the fall at the end. I hope he's okay. I think he's okay. I'm pretty confident that he's going to be okay, but... he had a very interrupted year. We'll obviously get into the season reviews for every player over the next couple of weeks, but I thought in this game he battled well. Gave him a 7. Kennedy, he was all right. 5 touches in the first, not too bad. He had 8 at the half, so he didn't have the best half, but I thought his second half was much better, and he got into the flow of the game, and he tackles, he runs around the ground, he marks, his fitness has improved, his ability to stay engaged in the contest has improved. I thought he was solid. I gave him a 6 for his game. Walshy, I noticed that in the first quarter, De Boer was right on him, and then they lifted the tag off him. So look, he had 16 touches at the half. His work rate just shines through every week. He's had a fantastic year. He's a third-year player. He's had 29 touches. He's kicked it behind, taken 8 marks. He's always marking the ball around the ground. He works so hard. He finds space. He runs into space. So I gave him a 7 for his game. Then we got the interchange bench: Kemp, Fisher, Fogarty, and Honey. Kemp, where you been? Where you been, mate? Where you been all my life? That spin move. What the fuck was that? That was sick. The spin move and the run. 7 minutes 40 to go in the first. That puts a smile on your face when you see these youngsters and they play with that energy and creativity and freedom in the mind. Oh, fantastic. He looked a lot more comfortable at the level in 1 week. And we have got a player on our hands. I think someone like a Lockie Plowman or a Willow, they got dramas, mate, because this kid will play. He will play. We need him to play. I don't know what it is, but he's got it. That was really, really exciting. Got out positioned a few times, but again, he's just got to learn, the movement of the game. He's done well. I think he's done very well for his second game. I was really impressed. Him and Durden, I just go into games saying, just get through, enjoy yourselves. I don't really grade them, but I have to give Kemp like a 7. Like he was solid. Fisher, nice assist early in the game for Ed Curno's goal. Needed more from him at the half. He had 5 touches and 2 tackles. But one thing I remember about Fish when he first went forward last year, he was talking about how he wouldn't get a touch in the quarter and it used to affect him, but he's learnt the art of staying engaged in the game, and I thought he did a relatively good job of that because he ended up with 14 touches, 5 tackles and a goal. Now, I've noticed people sort of trying to get on his back about the tackling. He had the game against, was it Gold Coast or North 2 games ago, where he had 0 tackles. Ever since then, he's led the team in tackles. He had 7 last week. He had 5 in this game. I think he's going okay. He got pinned in the third quarter with 11 minutes to go, which is not really something Fish does. He's usually very aware of his surroundings. There was a moment in that third as well, 17-20. He sort of telegraphed what he was going to do, and he got caught up with it. I thought he got his job done, so I gave him a pass mark for his game. It's good to see him respond from the tackleless game that he had a few weeks ago, and ultimately he's had an interrupted year. He missed a big chunk of it. He seems to have something happen. He's had something happen over the last few years now where he's missed a big chunk, and we need him to get fitter. We definitely need him to get stronger and to be able to assert himself a bit more physically. And my personal take on him is that he's our wingman, but I don't know if he's got the tank to do it for 4 quarters and stay in the game consistently. But again, I'm just an outsider. I don't know. Maybe he is a forward. Maybe that's what they want him to do. I mean, there's a new regime coming on. Who knows? Who knows? Fogarty, he had 9 at the half. He worked hard. He was all right. He had the 20 touches. I gave him a 6. And Josh Honey, not as involved as the previous weeks. He had the 5 touches. Probably just missed out on the day. I gave him a 4 for his game, but it's good to get a few games into him as well, and we go from there. That's it. There's your play ratings. Now, doing a bit, as you can see, they have been the sponsors of the play ratings videos for the last 5 videos. It's good to get them on board late in the season. My man Mark Sanders doing a great thing with his company. It's an activewear brand. We've got one more giveaway to go. We're giving away a little package. You're going to get a hat and a little care package as well. All you got to do in the comments, and I want to do this a little bit differently. So in the comments, if you're interested, put a hashtag doing a bit in your comments, and I want you to tell me, what are you going to be doing in this off season? What are you working on in the off season on yourself? That's the notion of doing a bit. It's not just about working out in the gym. If you're learning a skill, Photoshop, online, whatever it is, whatever the case may be, opening a business, reading a couple of books, let me know in the comments, what are you going to be working on in the off season, and what are you going to be doing a bit of? So we'll leave it there. I'll pick a winner and I'll post out the prize to you. Like I said, put the hashtag doing a bit in your comment if you're interested. That's how I'll know. And thanks again for being a part of the play ratings videos. I will wait a couple of days until you put your comments in with your changes, and then I will put out a separate video and we will crown the player ratings champion of 2021, and I will have a final spreadsheet for you all to look at, which will be interesting because we'll be able to match it up with the best and fairest results and see where we're on track. Last year we nailed the top 3, and I think we have a relatively good idea of how it's going to go this year. I think Walshy and Wiedering will be up there, and I think Harry will hold on. I think so, but we'll see. Thanks again. Plenty more to come. Stay tuned, and as always, go the Mighty Blues.